He brought out the worst of me, to be honest with you. I'm not used to having people in my drama on the outside, so you go in there and then there's someone, stirring the wooden spoon in everything you do.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was constantly at me. I don't feel like anyone else got that heat.
Hello and welcome to Love Island the Morning After. We are back for another week of yapping about all things Villa. I'm Indiyah Polack.
And I'm Amy Hart. And this week, friend of the podcast is back. We're joined by the wonderful Jackie Adedeji.
Hello, darlings, I'm back!
It's been ages, Jackie. How are you?
I know. I'm good, darlings. How are you?
We are fabulous.
How have you enjoyed the series?
Oh my... I've been yelling and shouting at my
We
TV.
know.
I'm hooked, obsessed. Like, really enjoying it.
Amazing.
We've got a lot to talk about. But before we get into it, we are spoiling you guys today because not only do we have Jackie, we have our very first All-Stars here. It is Charlie and AJ.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
And you're literally fresh from the villa because you literally landed out yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a wild time already, to be fair. Yeah, so settling back in.
And you've come straight in to see us. We're very flattered. Very, very flattered.
Pleasure's ours.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Happy to have you.
I think we
Okay.
should start by delving into their villa journey.
Yes,
Let's
do
get
it.
nosy. Let's get nosy.
Do it.
Have you watched anything since you've left?
I literally spent all of yesterday watching my episodes, trying to catch up, figure out what's been shown, what's not been shown, what Shaq was saying behind my back as well. And I wanted to see what the Shaq and Whitney drama was because I got quite a few messages about that since being out. So yeah, so I'm all up to date, I think.
We'll get into it anyways, but just before we start, why did both of you guys decide to go back on All-Stars?
I think I went back on because it'd been 8 years since I was on it before. And I've obviously changed so much, to be honest. And I thought, Winter Sun, why not? So I thought I'd have another crack at it. Obviously, I watched the last series of All-Stars and I was like, you know what? That's a bit of me. I'm ready to go again. So yeah, here I am.
So Charlie, why do you think people at home had such like a big reaction to your sort of situation with Jess and Millie?
To be honest with you, I can only put it down to me just being my genuine self and that maybe coming across a little bit to the point because that's just how I am. Maybe because the Islanders saw that me and Mills had a really strong connection. Like we were getting called mum and dad in there from like day 3 or 4, which obviously that means to me that we've got a strong connection, and that we're already kind of that couple that, have already developed that quite early on. So I think when things sort of progressed with Jess as well, I think they thought I was trying to have my cake and eat it, which I didn't really think that was the case because other Islanders were still doing worse, if not exactly the same thing. And I was actually not in a couple at that point when I was kind of like exploring my options. So yeah, I think that's why it kind of came down heavy on myself a little bit. Too heavy, I would say.
I mean, given that situation, would you say there's anything you would do differently or do you think, actually, no, I handled that perfectly?
That's the thing, we're all in there. And it was day 4, I think, when I'd even kissed Jess, right? So it was difficult for me to be like, would I have done things differently? No, because I'm exploring options in there. I think I don't think Mills was kind of honest with her feelings at the start because it felt like she was like, we're both open. Then actually when it came down to it, there was like new boundaries set and there was never anything more from her side. So I don't think I'd do anything differently, but there is a burning feeling inside that if I didn't pursue things with Jess, I would still be in there with Mills, So there is a little bit of me that's a bit like,
But do you think Shaq has basically done the same as you, but has got less heat for it?
Yeah, I don't think it's only Shaq though. I think Sean's done the same. He's kissed 2 girls, I think earlier than I did or the same about time as I did. Maybe earlier on, to be honest. So yeah, I feel like I've got a lot of unwarranted heat, to be honest, that I felt like didn't go in my favour. I think a lot of things got misconstrued in there as well from what I'd said. Yeah, I think I just didn't really get too lucky in there. But I am to the point. I do word vomit sometimes. I say what's on my mind. I speak my truth. So I don't have any regrets for that at all. I was trying to have a laugh in there, make things lighthearted. I know when I wiped my mouth and I came out, I was just having a joke, man.
It was
At that point,
that's what I was trying to do. Like I make light of things in all situations. Sometimes I shouldn't, and I should probably be a bit more serious, but that's just not me.
And with that, obviously, we did see the whole argument happen with Scott because of the whole Millie and Jess situation. Do you feel like that was now looking back a bit blown out of proportion?
Yeah, fully. I think he brought out the worst of me, to be honest with you, because I'm not used to having people in my drama on the outside. So you go in there and then there's someone, stirring the wooden spoon in everything you do.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was constantly at me. I don't feel like anyone else got that heat. And I think that's because Scott was threatened by mine and Mills' relationship first. Maybe he also fancies Mills, which we've kind of seen a little bit. So yeah, I don't feel like it was warranted. I think he was just like going at me because I was reacting. reacting as well. But of course I was reacting. It was every day in there, really.
Yeah.
He had a little 2 pence about something. So yeah, it was a lot.
Did you and Scott ever like fully make up? Do you think you guys would ever like talk on the outside?
I think, to be honest with you, like, after the last night I was in there with Blue, that night it left me a bit blue. I was kind of done with it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, this guy's never speaking to me ever again. Like, I can't tell him anything.
No.
Because he runs wild with it. It's not like you tell him one thing and it's like, you know, island gossip comes back around and it's completely not what I've said. And I did pull them both, Sean and Scott, and said, look, just please stay out of my business. If I ask for your opinion, then warranted, give it to me. But I never asked for it. It was always just, show me one clip where I got involved in someone else's business. I never did. I was just doing my own thing, you know?
What was your initial reaction to Millie dumping you? Did you expect it?
Do you know what? When she stood up a little bit, because I felt like that whole day I was trying to like uphill battle. I gave her a little fruit bowl and a coffee. I was trying, but I know that probably got dashed in the room. Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah,
Just ironing that.
Yeah,
Who wants it?
Yeah, cool. But listen, I was trying because I kind of realised that mistakes had made, but I actually don't feel, looking back, I kissed Jess because I wanted to explore that. I needed to know before I made my decision on recoupling what was the right route. I didn't want to like have things half open. So actually picking Mills, I think made it clear that that's still, I kissed Jess, then still picked Mills. I mean, she wasn't too happy about it. I think from that moment, I was kind of, me and Mills were done really from her side. I didn't feel like that because I was still exploring my options. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bitter pill to swallow when the person you're with or you actually do have a genuine connection with. And I know there was a connection there. It was a bit of a tough one, man.
Do you regret the kiss?
See, I like to say I don't have any regrets in life. I mean, it was a good kiss, but I guess for time in the villa and me and Mills were on a really good level, I kind of do, because I think me and Mills really did have something good. And I think she was then backing down, taking a big step back because I'd kissed Jess. And I think that was a big part of it, you know, a massive reason of it. Like, you know, I wasn't trying to have my cake and eat. I was just exploring options. I think that's what you do in Love Island, right? I don't know.
You weren't loyal, babe.
Well, that's haunting me, that one. 8 years ago. Jesus, yeah. Dropped me out. Yeah. Jesus. But yeah, nah. Maybe I should have been more loyal to my connection because I wasn't in a couple. I was just doing my thing, you know?
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm honestly living for the drama, laughs and love triangles of week 1 in the Love Island villa. Now let's charge it and get into the unreal pre-love looks worn by our all-star islanders. Adding a touch of casual to their nighttime glam, the girls channel old school vibes and coordinating varsity jackets. Jess turned Charlie and Sean's heads in a gorgeous retro fake chainmail and later this vintage Georgia varsity jacket. They looked amazing. But let's not forget our villa boys. Scott brought back a villa classic. The Axel Arigato denim jacket has been beloved by ex-islanders like Harry and Cash in Series 12. Now, Scott and Leanne's first date is giving couple. Leanne looks stunning in a jaded dress paired with an authenticity guaranteed Gucci handbag, while Scott styled an Arne shirt and shorts. I can't wait to see what eBay and the Islanders have in store for us in the coming weeks. eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars.
All right, so AJ, have you seen the whole situation with Shaq and Whitney, and then obviously Shaq going in and talking about you giving him the ick?
Yeah, so I actually watched that on the way here in the taxi ride. I was mortified about the comment about me giving him the ick.
Yeah.
Because also, from my point of view, he was just as touchy as me.
Agreed.
Wait, sorry, but did anyone see me being more touchier than him?
No.
At all. Like,
No.
I was blindsided when he came at me with that because it's like, this is a two-way street, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't come out of nowhere. I haven't been putting my hands on you and you've not once said, like, this is making you feel uncomfortable. He told me his love language was physical touch. So it was like, okay. And then for him to say that, it's giving him the ick. But it's mental because literally the night before, I was saying, I want to take a little step back. Like, I want to take a little step back and maybe explore other things because it has been all about you. So it's like, why are you now saying that I'm all for you when I've literally in bed said, I want to take a little step back and just, you know, I've got other connections I want to explore as well.
Having watched Love Island for as long as I have and sort of like knowing it, I feel like we never saw Shaq say, until Scott said, like, oh, because, you know, I sort of took the heat off you because I know she'd given you the ick. He'd never actually used those words.
Never said
He'd just sort of said that he wanted to step back and that maybe like things were going a bit too fast and stuff. And I feel like if he'd actually said it, I feel like we would have seen it for it to make sense. So I feel like they talked a lot about language. Language really matters about character and characteristics and stuff. I feel like he said the ick and then Shaq's been like, oh yeah, the ick.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I don't think
This
So I feel like
is- this is-
classic
That
Scott stirring
is
the pot, isn't
classic
it?
Scott,
Classic
man.
stirring.
Scott the pot,
Just
mate.
drops
Yeah.
it and then runs off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, bro, literally.
But I feel like with the way that was handled, obviously, I love Whit for just like
Whitney.
backing me up.
Charge it to
Yeah.
girlhood.
Listen, I'm not there.
Literally.
Like, I'm not there to like
Yeah.
protect myself. And obviously, from what she could see or hear, he'd come from him. Obviously, it's right to back your girl because I'm
Yeah.
not there to back myself. And best believe if I was there, I would have backed myself.
100%.
I don't doubt that for one
Yeah.
second. to
Were
be
you
fair.
and Whitney close friends in there?
Do you know what? Me and the girls got on this season. The girls were all so lovely,
Yeah.
and me and Whit did like. She is such
Yeah.
an amazing person,
Mhm.
and we did get on in there. Like we did, and I think she's just a girl's girl. Like I feel like
Okay.
for any girl, she'd probably speak out if there was something that needs to speak out about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that situation made it tricky for the guys in there because the girls were so close. They didn't want to step on each other's toes. More so like the other way around. Usually the guy, you know what I mean? And it was a little bit like difficult to navigate sometimes because you're all so close in there, the girls. It was nice to see, but it was difficult at times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because on like a normal Love Island, like a summer Love Island, obviously nobody's done it before, and the people that are there on day one don't really understand what it's like to be a bombshell. But on All Stars, the people who are there on day one, some have been bombshells, some have been Casa and Moore, so everyone's sort of more understanding of what it's like to come in later.
I think definitely because from being a bombshell before and there was clicks before, I think they know how hard it is. It's a tough gig, and you know we know what the format of the show is. You know what you're going into, so it's like we're gonna have to make connections. We're gonna have to talk to each other's guys.
I mean, off the back of that, this is more directed at you, AJ. Do you think because of people's like close relationships, that made it harder for you to get to know other people? Because I wanted to ask, like, do you now regret basically kind of putting all your eggs in Shaq's basket?
So this is the thing. Everyone thinks with how the show was aired that I put all my eggs in Shaq's basket, but
Okay.
I was very open.
Okay, fine.
And I did have other connections going on in there. It's just Shaq was my number one choice before going in. So it's like, you know what, I want to prioritize him, but I was never closed off.
So you were quite chilled with Shaq, like getting to know you, but then obviously also sleeping in bed with Helena and stuff. Is that because he was honest about everything?
I would say partly because he was honest and honest and upfront, very transparent about everything. But also because I was trying to have connections with other guys that just weren't showing. So I think because I was also quite open and it's like, okay, well, if you can do that, then I can do this. Not that I do tit for tat, but it's like I'm also very open to getting to know people if, you know, it feels right in that time. But yeah, so I think that's why I was a bit quite cool about it. Yeah.
Unbothered a queen.
Right, guys, we know it's early days, but we would like some early predictions. What have you got for us?
They've changed. You know what? They've
Yeah.
changed because I think
I was team Sammy and Kieran before.
Okay.
Because they
now it's a bit team dull, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's a bit like, well, they're eating a couple right now.
Do
So
you know what I mean? I didn't see them. I haven't seen them since.
and
I mean, what were they like in the villa? You guys were there with them firsthand.
I think Kieran's funny. Like he's a funny guy, and they seem to have a really good connection. Like she used to laugh at him all the time, like together, and they looked like they were quite strong. But we
then-
only saw that for a day or two.
that
so.
being said, after when someone's not funny, is there anything deeper after that? So
Yeah.
that's one thing. Is there something?
I don't
is there
think-
that deeper conversation? Because seeing them
Yeah.
on that episode doesn't look like
I
it.
don't think there's any strong connections in there at all.
not?
Nah,
Fair
not
enough.
at all. I don't
That's
think
Scott
Leah.
and Leanne.
No, absolutely not. He's playing the game. There's no way.
Oh.
That is not. He knew there was a
Come on, tell us.
recoupling coming up, and now look, he's
Oh,
like moving Millie.
don't.
So
I love Leanne as well. Like I do
it
not want
ain't
to see
real.
her get
That ain't-
hurt.
I'm telling you now. You know, invite me back on in a couple of weeks, and you'll be like, "Yeah, you were right," because that ain't a thing.
Well, we'll have to see if your predictions are right. Will you stay with us for the rest of the episode?
Of course.
Amazing. Well, last night, Shaq finally called it quits with Helena and is going to pursue Belle.
Round two, ding ding.
Until someone else comes in, I'm guessing. Do you two think that Helena and Shaq were a good match?
I did, to be fair, because Shaq said to me he was really enjoying like the laughy bits in bed, and that was what he was comparing.
I don't know, because to me, he was saying he was
Yeah,
enjoying the
I
deeper
know.
side and the physical side with me. So it's a bit, you know, obviously he's going to say that to me though, because, you know, that's the other woman. So.
The thing is, Helena said herself,
You're the other woman.
She's the other woman.
the other
Well,
point
I'm
of the
the other woman.
triangle. Helena did say last night, and she got quite upset. And sort of, we saw it last summer, we've seen it this time. Everyone loves her jokey side, everyone loves her flirty side, but nobody wants to go deeper. Nobody wants to take it to that next level. They always see her as a mate. Do you think that's what happened with Shaq?
Potentially. I know he's looking for a forever person. I know he is genuine, saying that he wants to look for his future girlfriend or wife in there. So having a laugh, having a joke, but does it go deeper than that? I know he wants someone he can go to church with, someone he can build a life with, go on holidays with. And you do need that deep side as well as having a laugh.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we saw a snippet just then of her and Curtis, of Helena and Curtis talking, and she was kind of like...
I actually predicted that when he walked in. I was like, Helena and Curtis.
Yeah, but she was almost... What did she say? I can't remember what she said exactly, but she was almost like not standing her ground again. She was like, I just roll with the punches.
Yeah, she was like, I just go with the flow and
Yeah,
everything.
and I think she needs to be more like,
Absolutely.
this is what I want, like,
Yeah.
play it a little bit cooler. 'Cause Helena's
Mm.
great. I have so much time for Helena. She's hilarious. Like, but I do get what,
but
you know.
maybe that's where her and Shaq may not have worked, because he's looking for a wife and maybe she hasn't even had a first relationship.
Yeah, this is what I was going to
that is
ask
true.
about, was obviously also in that chat where she got quite upset. She said about, she's 29, she's never had a boyfriend. I can relate to that because when I went in, I was 26 and I'd never had a boyfriend, got a half boyfriend, and then ended up marrying my
What's
first
a half
boyfriend.
boyfriend, by the way?
It was a thing. Don't worry about it.
Situationship.
It was like day 10 of Love Island.
Oh, this is what
so
we're
you
talking
can't
about.
go
Right,
like full
right,
boyfriend,
right.
girlfriend at that point.
Fine.
But and then obviously came out of the villa, single for a few years, got a boyfriend, and now I'm married to him. So there is hope for
Fairy
Helena
tales.
and anyone
Baby
else.
two on the
Yes.
way.
Right. Jackie, how do you think she can get out of that funk?
I feel like she needs to just increase her self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually hype yourself up. Like, you're amazing, you're great. Don't let people walk all over you, because I feel like the thing with her is I don't think she knows her worth. Like, we see her worth because we think she's amazing, but I don't think she sees it.
I'd agree with
and
that.
I feel like she needs to find a way to actually be like, I'm amazing, I'm deserving, I'm worthy of love, and actually fight for herself, because it's really hard to watch her, and it's like knowing how amazing she is, and she's not like, she needs to do a Whitney and back herself, like fully back herself. And then I think, when you start treating yourself like that, then people have to fall in line and treat you properly.
Be assertive. Make yourself the prize, not an option. You know what I mean?
But I guess it's hard when you don't have the experience of like being with anyone. So, but you know what they say, the longest relationship you ever have is with yourself anyway. So
Some chat over there.
do you know what I mean?
Charge it to the game.
Charge it to Jackie.
Love that.
So we've also seen the reignition of Sean and Belle. Do we feel like this is actually going to go anywhere?
No,
No,
it's not.
100% not.
her and Shaq are way better suited.
Yeah.
And I know
Even
they
I
both,
think Belle and Shaq are way better.
they
suited
feel
as
that
well.
they both have the same opinion on that as well. They both know that they're like flirty, way
Yeah.
better
I
suited.
feel like Shaq is very strict. So I
No.
feel like he's just someone that she can just like have a little snog with and have a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? I don't think.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing that annoys me about this, because if you flip it and then it's a guy doing that,
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
We're lying.
it's like, if I was doing that, I would get painted as like the player, the bad person. But
I mean,
if Belle can do that and snog someone and be like, oh, they're a little bit on the side,
Yeah.
and it's like, do you know what I'm
But
saying?
the thing is, like,
is-
in Belle's defense, though, has Belle actually said that she's anything with Shaq?
No.
It's just Shaq who said that he likes Belle.
That's
so
true.
actually, he's just
Yeah.
claimed her without her being like, well, actually,
Yeah.
am I wanting to explore this? He just told her that he's interested. and now he's
that's
literally
true.
claiming her like,
Yeah.
and she can't do anything.
Yeah.
I have decided that you are the one.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Because he didn't get her. That's why he
Yeah.
was annoyed.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Shaq. He's my boy.
Yeah.
But listen, yeah.
And I think
he
it
was a-
stings that bit more because obviously he's now binned things off with Helena. Nobody told him to, by the way.
No,
So now he's like,
exactly.
well,
I
I'm
think
by
he thought that was
myself.
enough for Belle to be like,
To be
oh,
like, yeah,
actually,
I'm
oh,
all
thank
in.
you.
Yeah.
Now I'm all in, but that didn't happen.
He's
And
really a
then
bit of a
pissed off.
hypocrite, because let's just say with me, he was like, oh, she's all for me. I don't like when someone does all that. And then it's like, well, you're kind of doing that with Belle now with the Helena thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And we saw obviously how he reacted, finding out that she kissed Sean. He wasn't happy about it at all. But if he was still with Helena, would he have cared that much?
Yeah, that's
Questions
true.
to ask.
I think as well, like we've seen quite a few times, people that tend to have lots of sort of connections and situations and stuff often end up on their own. So I wonder if he thought, I've had quite a few connections and it's literally been like 10 days or whatever.
Or you get
So
dumped.
maybe I need to actually lock this down and actually
Yeah.
try and pursue one person.
Yeah.
This is what we kept saying in there, because it's difficult. It's like, when do we stop saying we've only been in here 4 days? Because I was kind of feeling like if that was going to go a certain way, and me and Mills were kind of like, well, shall we just do that? And then we can just lock ourselves. But we kept saying we're both open. And then it was like, no one locked it off. So, do you know what I mean? It was like, when is the day? Because I said to the boys, I pulled the boys, I was like, when is the day that we can say
I
that?
think you just know when you're like, I don't want to be talking to anyone else. I'm not even,
when you know,
I'm
you
not
know.
even tempted a tiny bit.
I feel like it's when
got
a
my
bombshell
person,
walks
yeah.
in and you're just like, Welcome.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
nice.
like Kieran has been a
But,
little bit, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, clearly not that much because he's just been picked. So clearly he was giving off some signals.
exactly. So he was tempted, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
just seen a new
Yeah.
bombshell and he's like, okay.
Do you think Shaq is a bit worried now because he was the top of the triangle?
He was.
And now he's down here.
Yeah.
Like he's moved. Belle is now at the top of the
Because he's
triangle.
deaded
She's in
things off with
control.
Helena. I think
Yeah.
that was too early.
He's
I
not
think
yet
he
in
should
the
have carried
triangle,
on.
is he?
No,
He
well,
is
no,
now.
he is with Belle and Sean, but Belle's in
yeah.
control.
He's
Yeah.
now an
She's
option.
top.
A different
I-
triangle.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an option.
He's now an
Yeah.
option. He doesn't like it. And I feel like this is the first time the
Yeah.
power is no longer in Shaq's
Yeah.
hand.
Mhm.
And you are seeing his ego literally
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
just
Oh.
collapse.
Oh, and he's not doing well with
It's hard.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that Sean apologised.
Nah.
He had nothing to
Because I was
apologise
like, why are you
for.
saying
Yeah.
sorry?
That's
Personally.
because Sean wants to be one of the boys. I think he's a really sweet guy.
Yeah.
And I think he doesn't want to sort of
Ruffle
be.
feathers.
I think that first night when Scott came in and started having a go at him, being like, "You're not an all-star, you're the worst person in your
yeah.
series."
You're boring.
That probably
Oh.
made him be like,
It
"Oh
was
God."
horrible, that.
So I
Yeah.
feel like he wants to keep everyone on side and like be part of the
Bless
gang.
him.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but you can't have to, like, you can't have
Yeah.
it both
Yeah.
ways. Do you know
It's
what I
not
mean? It's
friendship
like you want to
island.
be like that, but then you want to
Yeah.
snog. You have a little snog. So it's like, oh, but yeah, I don't feel like he should have apologized. I feel
No.
like
No.
Bella's not his, so it's like, why should Sean
Yeah.
apologize?
And
No, I
Sean
don't
was
think he
getting to
should
know
have
Belle
either.
just as much as Shaq was.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
literally even saw
And-
Belle and Sean kiss again on the
Mhm.
terrace.
And they have more
So it's a bit
history
like-
than
Yeah.
Shaq and Belle as well. Like they've kissed before, they've shared a
Yeah.
bed before, they've coupled up before. So if anything, Sean has more of a right to be
Yeah.
like, I've got a bit more history here.
Shaq's
than
actually
you,
second
yeah.
in the queue.
He shouldn't, he
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have apologised. I agree. It's hard for me because
Yeah.
I do really like Shaq. I think he's a great guy, but I do think he could have kept his cool a little bit better. And also, Sean should not apologise. I think he needs to have a bit of more of a backbone,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? I think
needs to
come on,
own
mate,
it.
stick up for yourself, innit?
Own it.
Like, he's
Yeah.
done it before, so why couldn't
Yeah.
he do it in that moment?
True.
AJ, you've been in a triangle with Shaq. Are you glad that he's now flipped to the other
Oh,
side?
honey,
so he
I'm
can learn,
I'm glad.
But are you glad he can like learn how it feels to be one of like the bottom points, not the
Oh,
top
I'm
points?
so glad. I'm sorry. Come as a bitch. No, I'm just think, it's not nice being in that position.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I don't think Shaq's a bad guy, and he was very transparent and honest. But is it good to see him in this position? Yeah, like I'm petty. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Viola.
Well, I'm glad you two were here while we talked about this to give us the full Shaq insight. So thank you so much. And that is it for this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more gossip from the villa. So make sure you join us then. Jackie, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow.
A pleasure as always, darling. Of course.
course.
I'm here all week.
And Charlie and AJ, have you enjoyed your time on the
Oh,
podcast?
it's been amazing.
Loved
Thank you
it.
for
Yeah,
having
thanks for
us.
having us. Pleasure as well. Thank you so much.
Great. Don't forget to leave us a comment below and we'll be back here tomorrow to talk about the week coupling. See you later.
See you then. Bye.